Welcome back.
It's your boys, the BK Game Devs from
It's
Brooklyn,
your
New
boys.
York.
What's going on? Welcome back to Game Dev Thursdays. We're here for more enemy AI development. Just a quick recap on what we did last week and yesterday. So last week we worked on the enemy AI, just getting the player to move back and forth. The enemy to move back and forth and be able to damage the player. Yesterday on Gaming Wednesdays, man, all my terms are all confused. We were playing Bloodstained Symphony. Oh my god.
Okay,
We're playing Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Sorry, I'm thinking about Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Okay.
We were playing Bloodstained, and last week Chris was not doing the greatest with his quarter circles. He hasn't played enough Street Fighter or Tekken, right? So we got to a place where there was a secret across a ledge, but he needed to do some like special moves to get over there. But yesterday he redeemed himself. He came back with the quarter circle mastered and got across this awesome gap first try. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a clip on our Twitch. It is a fun time. Everyone is hype. It's very fun.
Might I say
go for it.
Might I say that we ran a prediction in chat? Like, will Chris master the quarter circle and get the treasure? And everyone in chat was like,
everyone.
Nah, man's is gonna get bodied. And then on the first try, I just like mastered the flying. What's the move called? The flashing kick.
It's kind of like a Tatsumaki or like a flying kick. It's very Street Fighter. Very Street Fighter.
And I did it on the first try, and I went like completely nuts. And I got up and was like running across my room. It was fun.
Hilarious. It was a fun time.
And then I beat the tutorial boss on the first try. It was just a fun time. This is a fun game, Bloodstained. It's a Metroidvania, but it's like more RPG action oriented. But it's a fun game. We're probably gonna continue playing it next week, I believe. But we'll see.
Yeah, probably. And then in some time, we'll also be switching up the games. We won't be playing through full games. We'll be changing it up so that there's fresh content, fresh kinds of games every few weeks. But look forward to that. Today, we're going to be working on, again, more enemy AI. We're going to be trying to get this enemy to attack our player. So that entails a few things, right? One, being able to attack it all. Two, being able to detect when to attack. So like maybe like a field of view or something along those lines where when they see the player within this line of view and they're within the range of the attack, the enemy will then attack. So that's what we'll start with. That's what we'll take a look at. So again, look forward to us figuring that out and probably botching it at first because that's how code works, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anything else from you, Alex, or are you ready to dive right in?
Yeah, we could probably just dive right in.
Yeah, let's see how it works. Yeah.
Who knows? Oh.
Nice. First try, never worked.
Drake was like on that SpongeBob episode where he's like, I don't wanna.
Valid out for custom action provider missing on Drake. Oh,
maybe later.
Silly me.
I don't really feel
like it. Maybe later.
So, okay.
Let's see. Can we get that boy schmoving?
Yeah,
moving.
Hold on, let me
that boy schmoving, but that boy is jumping off ledges.
Uh-oh. Basic bitch enemy. It's like the Drake immediately entered his like early teenage years and was like, nope, I'm not gonna listen to you anymore, mom.
Facts. Starts blasting some of My Chemical
Romance. Oh, that was a good one.
AFI, just black eyeliner, bangs.
So
sweet.
Floor is being detected, wall is not being detected, which makes sense. Move
The
direction
floor, yeah, that's good.
Move direction is 0?
Sprite Unit says he knows you're gonna kill him, so he doesn't want to go and listen to you. Of course not.
I think that would have been a good opportunity to say Drake is listening to MCR and is also watching Degrassi.
I'm dead.
I'm dead too, because I just thought of that. I can't believe it.
Also, what we really got to talk about real quick is we have made no Drake references to the artist. Like we can make jokes about all the songs. Drake, Hotline Bling, Drake, 100 things, but we haven't done it. But anyway,
I broke the fourth wall there.
So
I see we need probably both. Let's see what happens to our Drake. Well, our Drake. All right, the Drake flipped. It's not moving, but it flips and then starts moonwalking a bit. But I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that, I guess.
Is that a hot redhead protagonist?
Oh no, not Ezra Scarlet for all the fairy tale.
a lot of people don't, even Chris and Quan sometimes don't really understand what I'm saying. It's this particular language, and in code.
Sometimes is an understatement, but it's all good.
But yes, the overview of what we're trying to do or trying to say is, we want to make the editor work a bit faster, so we're making sure to make some changes for our efficiency. And again, what we're working on now is to try and get our enemy to flip directions when they hit a wall. So if they hit a wall and there's nowhere else to go the other way. If they hit, if there's somewhere where there's no floor, like it's like a ledge, go the other way. That's what we're aiming for right now. Under all this jargon and code talk
real overview, we're making a game. It's a Metroidvania. It's called Soribel. And we're deep in some code right now, but
what is
we're working on some enemy AI right now. That's high level. That's what we're doing right now. We want our enemy Drake to attack our player.
Yep. Again, and for what's happening here, we are looking in our dictionary, which is just, again, it is a key value pair. So a key is a name. So something like, direction, and it will give you a value of like left or right. That's what we're looking at right now, but it's giving us the wrong value, it seems. We're trying to figure out why, because that's why our enemy is not moving the other way.
Actually, if you're a non-coder, a dictionary might make more sense.
Map.
Right? No?
No, yeah. I think a dictionary is great. It is, you look up a word, you get a definition.
You get the value. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You get the value. Wait, so move direction is one.
Move
right?
detection.
Detection.
My god, I'm so silly.
What?
It's okay. I love when you get that you get that moment.
Detection.
I still used the wrong name.
That's it. Okay. Name. See, when you figure it out, it's great.
Wow.
When you figure it out, it's great. So
hold on.
So basically, explain what the problem was. It's a silly mistake, but just explain explain to everyone what just happened.
The issue was just.
Thank you for the follow, Christine.
Thanks, Christine. Thanks for following us.
We're also Brooklyn.
We're also Brooklyn. That's
that's what BK Game Devs is, because we're all in Brooklyn. Brooklyn Game Devs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, so we just used the wrong word. Effectively, the reason why the value wasn't working just now was, you can think of it like a literal a dictionary. And instead of looking for the right word, we looked for like the word that is the same but has one letter off. So we, instead of looking for read, READ, we looked for REED, like in a saxophone. Like it's as simple as that. And because of that, we got two different definitions, right?
Yeah, so move direction versus move detection. That was it, right?
That was pretty much what it was.
Move direction, move detection. We just did a copy and paste error. That's basically what happened.
I figured that out.
The real code issues are all about spelling.
The real code was the friends you made along the way.
No, not it's a.
We're back.
The Drake is back to schmoovin'.
Yeah.
The Drake is schmoovin' again.
Oh man.
All right, so now I say let's start with maybe let's try and implement now that waiting. So now we have the simple like go back and forth.
I already know what you're saying. You don't even have to tell chat. They don't have to know. I already know. No, we're gonna use a coroutine, right?
Does chat know?
This guy got it. Yeah,
you're assuming the thoughts of chat.
So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to quite simply start a code team, but ignore what that is. It is effectively just we start waiting for the for some action to happen. And so what we can do is say, okay, hey, before you go the other way, wait for like 1 second, 2 seconds, and we can just let it wait there. We don't have to do anything at all.
1 second.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we're doing is effectively just nothing for 1 second, and then the
Okay, so if I understand,
Yeah,
it's basically patrolling each time. You get the enemy gets to the edge.
Yep, this gives us the patrol. So if it hits a wall, it'll just stay there for a few seconds. If it hits a ledge, it'll stay there for a few seconds. Yes, your
Right.
finger person. That is correct, Chris. That is a great
Oh,
version. The
That was really
finger person just walking back and forth. I'm weak.
I don't know what it's.
That's it, right?
No, hold on.
Man's is dancing. I see you.
Whoa! What are we doing here? What was
I
that?
don't know. I don't know what that was.
Oh,
and it doesn't care about. All right, so let's take out
Drake
that.
is
that
sporadic.
routine.
Drake is sporadic.
Oh, I know
Drake
what it is.
sporadic.
I know what it is.
I get it. I think I know what's happening too.
Yeah.
That needs to go in at the beginning, right? Yeah. And then the second one should be null because it's waiting a second and then it keeps like calling itself almost in a loop. Yeah, got it.
Hold on. Like this. So this one, it needs to just be set to 0.
Okay, got it.
Facing doesn't get affected.
Okay, so we can take out the try get facing logic then? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, we do. We could do that. You're right.
Yeah, like we don't
We just want it to stop. We don't really need to.
stop moving, so move that direction to 0, then check if you're facing left or right and flip. Okay, I have faith this will work. Now because I have faith, now it's not gonna work.
It's that. It's that part.
Misplaced.
Wait, that was a little weird.
No, I know.
Yeah, sad face. This did not work how we expected.
Wait,
Wow.
like it seemed like part of it did, but then Drake is just like,
Oh,
I don't want to go to school. Like what's going on?
maybe it's because floor not detect. Like this is being done in a loop, right? This is constantly happening, and most likely at that moment because I'm not switching over, floor keeps not being detected.
Got it. Yeah, because
or wall keeps being detected. So we have to just check whether this is being run in the first place or not.
Makes sense. Okay,
that makes sense.
That's how it's like similar to how we did with stuff for the player. Like stop checking for certain things at certain. This checking for the floor
Thanks
is
for the
being
Mario fail.
counted.
And thanks for the biddies.
Thank you.
Yeah,
10 bits. Thank you for cheering. For the Mario fail, that's perfect.
Appreciate this.
My faith was misplaced, but what's happening is because we're waiting 1 second to check if or waiting for a second for the enemy to turn the other way. This piece of code that we have is getting called like 60 times a frame. So in that time it's waiting, it's still checking and then running the same code multiple times. But how do I explain it? It's running the same code multiple times with different values. And so the enemy is kind of like, it's trying to pick between one at any given time. And so it kind of like flips back and forth and can't figure out which one to do. So we need to say, like, once you're waiting, stop checking for if you're on the floor or if there's a wall. Just wait and only start to check once, you're ready or once that wait time is up. That is what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, because when we do a coroutine, it's kind of like we're queuing up an action that we want to happen in the future, right? Like maybe a second. Or like coroutines are kind of just happen alongside your logic. And obviously it's not working, but I will fix that. Yeah, and if the way it was going, it just kept creating these coroutines, that were gonna happen. That was gonna happen in a second, so we just kept flipping it, a whole bunch, and that was the stuttering action. So we have to make sure that if a coroutine is running, that's going to do this.
Starts.
Yeah, don't start a new one.
Everybody hydrate.
Hey.
Hydrate, yo.
Spartan unit redeemed a hydrate. Thank you for reminding us. We've been coding for an hour.
Yeah.
So we must hydrate.
I gotta remember
good for the health.
Especially because I go to the gym right after this.
Sure, yeah. And for everyone who's watching, stay hydrated.
Also, everyone else hydrate if you've been sitting here for an hour. Also, I've been a question mark for the past
Please do not be a
So I've been
question mark.
stretching. I'm going to stretch also. We have a posture check here too, so that That's what I mean by question mark.
Yeah, as in like when your spine is just a question mark and you're
when
just
you're
uncomfortable.
A little,
Not exactly sure what this is, but whatever.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We can table this, I think. Maybe we could table this.
And thank you for the biddies, Spartan.
The biddies.
Yeah, we got Hello Darkness.
My old friend.
He said biddies. Hello
Biddies.
Darkness. Thanks for the bits. This is great. Appreciate you.
To do an attack, what does this entail? We can we're gonna have to set an animation state, of course.
Yeah.
We will have to we'll actually have to add probably a box collider the same way we do on the player, but on the animation of the Drake.
Yeah.
We'll need an action to detect when it can attack. So for now, let's not worry about like a sightline or anything. Let's just have it attack like randomly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can do it based on a sightline or something. But again, that's for later. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna do. I guess I was just gonna do the whole player detection thing.
So we're working on the enemy detecting the player.
Yeah.
Okay. With like a line of sight.
Not line of sight, but a box collider almost. If you look at what Alex is doing, if you let the enemy go, now move to the left or right as the player. Yeah, you see how when the Drake was over there was a green box.
So when it's green, when it's green, it's not detecting. But when it's red,
when it's green, it is detecting the player.
Okay. I see.
I mean,
that's cool.
This is just a random box.
Okay.
Cool. Let's change the offset. So I think it shouldn't be. It should go ahead of the Drake, but it should start from like the Drake's.
Yeah,
like
that was just like a. Hold on, let me see.
That's cool.
Yeah, I did it like pretty.
Yeah,
large.
That's all good. It happened.
So like, let's say this might be the offset, for example, like, and the width of the box is 2.
Okay, yeah, let's try it out.
And you can kind of see what that may look like.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of see like it's that much.
Yep, that looks good. So I would say let's make it about as tall as the player and maybe a little bit farther out because I think it should see, or like maybe the width. Maybe make it like even like 5 to be honest, because we wanted to see the player from like far enough away.
Wait.
Sorry, I had it. Yeah, the width.
I also have to just adjust the 2.5 maybe. 2.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I say do because I think that the enemy should detect the player from a bit farther away. Yeah, not super close, but in my head because this is like a. Yeah, that's fine. But honestly, in my head, it could be larger. Like in my head, it should see the player from not so close up. Like
for an enemy like this, I was thinking, it doesn't have to chase the player, but the moment that as it's patrolling, it sees it could just
it'll then attack.
Attack, right? Like just stops and then attacks. So
yeah, let's keep that.
Really, what makes the most sense to me is having a collider large enough to encompass the attack animation, because that's if it's going to stop here, it means it knows its attack is going to reach the player, given that it does it. Make sense?
Sure. So I say leave it at 5 or 4 then. Yeah.
I'm cool with this, and we can adjust later.
Sounds good to me.
I hope it keeps the values. Yes, it did.
All right, and so can we look at the animation for the Drake so that everyone can see? I don't think we've showed that off yet.
Is it in the animator?
Yeah, I already set it up.
Just because we're a little past a halfway point, if we could like summarize a bit of a accomplishment here, Quan, do you want to do that?
Sure. Yeah. So we accomplished getting the enemy to move back and forth as well as like wait in between its turns. Before it moves, so it waits before it moves back and forth. I say accomplished with quotes because we have an issue where it kind of flips at random at times. We'll have to figure that out, but so that we don't waste all our time, we're gonna also take a look at getting the enemy to attack. So we are now creating a range where it can detect the player, and what we'll do now is we'll create an action for it to attack, where if it detects the player within its like view range, it will mindlessly fire off an attack. It's up to the player to dodge that or take damage, but what we will also do then is on the actual animation, we will create a like hitbox that can affect the so back to the attack. We have to keep in mind now a few things. So one, we have to detect the player is there, shoot out an attack, and the attack needs to be able to damage the player because that won't happen on its own. So what I suggest, Alex, is copying what we did on the player. So on the Drake, if you have another collider like as a child under that, could we just activate it in the animation the same way we do for the player, where we animate its like hitbox attack on the sword when the player attacks?
No, yeah, of course. That was I think that approach is fine.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Hold
so
on,
yeah, I say
I'm
let.
looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me see.
Sure. So in the animation, if you just play it, just so that people can see,
okay,
it's kind of like a fire breath attack.
I really like that. Yeah, the way it does
a lot.
Yeah,
I like that.
It kind of reminds me of Godzilla, the way it the newer Godzilla, the way its back lights up before it uses its
This is MCR Drake. This is MCR Drake.
MCR Drake, yeah. What I was gonna say is, I think maybe we can speed up the animation a tiny bit because it's a little slow. But now that I think we should do more so from the animator side, because moving the frames around, there's a lot of frames. It'll take time. Let's not do it now.
Sure.
So maybe I can do that offline. But yeah, so first let's
now, right?
Yeah, but for now let's add a.
The state's already there.
Yeah, I mean, let's add the box collider.
Oh yeah, I may want to at some point. We won't do this now. Change the shape of the collider as the flame is going, so that way it's really like perfect.
It's more fair. Yeah, I think that's something that we'll definitely do. But again, yeah, not right now, because in our base form of attacks, we're just gonna use squares and circles. But you're right, like it would be larger at the main blast of fire, and then smaller as it turns into little like embers.
Yeah, exactly. Or I was thinking more that it might travel like kind of like that.
I get you. Okay, fair enough. But smart.
You know, that's just an idea. I don't think the embers might not even do it. It's just like that
do damage. Yeah.
Let me adjust it a little bit.
Sure.
Right there.
Looks good. And yeah, thanks, Barton. Yeah, these things look good again. These some free assets that we got, and they look really nice. We're gonna turn it into Sakurai. No. That man is a legend, but he put like 70 characters in one game from different franchises. That man is a monster.
I think I'll make an enemy attack.
Yeah. I think the enemy attack layer is good.
Yeah. So just to be clear, we're using like free assets right now from the internet that are like free use.
Internet
that are free use. I'm not even using quotes. Sorry that I'm using quotes. They're literally free use. So like we could use them. We could use them. We could literally use them. And we're not going to be using these assets in our game. So
they're just placeholders.
They're just placeholder assets, and we're using them as like a proof of concept for our game, so that we could get a feel for what we actually want our game to look like. And offline, we're going to be working with artists and getting a feel for what our actual art style is going to look like. And at some point, we're going to show you guys what that's going to look like down the line, way down the line.
Yep.
So what you see now is just like a very, very early bare bones, version of the game.
Yeah. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be hooking up the animator here, which will take care of this, what triggers the animation. So what will trigger that animation right now will be the detection that we put in place. So when the player comes into range of the enemy will send an event to the enemy like, hey, you are now in the attacking state because you've seen the player. Then it will go into the attack animation, which will do damage to the player if everything works out nicely. We have to hook up a few actions to make sure that works out, but otherwise we should be good to get this done before stream for sure.
Absolutely.
Before stream is done for sure.
And then we can probably hop onto another thing before stream.
Yeah, if we have time, we can start taking a look at the player. I said let's start with the player death animation. I think so. When the player loses all their health, which we already have in place, we can just put a check in there. When the player health is 0, they will like.
What about the enemy death animation? Alex, you went to the bathroom already?
Yeah.
That was insane.
What?
I lived in my...
I know. I'm sorry.
Are you just messing with me?
No.
I'm dead. But what I was gonna say is...
Not 5 feet, like...
I know. Feet. It's okay.
What I was gonna say is that the enemy death and animation we can do that as well. Either one works.
My man P's like Sonic the Hedgehog Spartan unison.
I can't. I'm weak that we got to this topic.
Gotta go fast.
Y'all got me dead.
It doesn't take too long. Just do the thing, wash my hands, and then come back.
Yeah, I totally feel you. I didn't think I didn't even think it was that fast, but clearly chat did.
All right, Nafihi, will it send the event just once if the player gets hit over multiple frames?
You make a good point. So we have a check that we've implemented called fire once.
So the thing is, the collided event happens only once when you enter. And then you'd have to exit before you hit it again. So it's not like on trigger stay. So we don't even, but we do have a mechanism to say like fire once, and then we can have something that resets that sort of fire. However, that's the thing that I said we're gonna have to take care of that at some point, because we have to figure out at what point does it reset the fire.
Yeah.
Because we don't want the player to go out and then come back in. But then again, we may not have to. If the player has like a damage frame where they're damaged, they start blinking or something like that, so they're invincible to the attack. So even if they go in and collide with the attack, then we basically have to just turn off the player hitbox. Really, in that case.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then we wouldn't have to worry about it until so we don't have to make any complicated logic. Just turn off player hitbox, turn it back on, and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a great question though, because that is a thing that many early game designers, and even now it still happens, they will forget that kind of stuff, and so you'll be like tearing through bosses or enemies with relative ease because certain like attacks will do damage per frame. And so when your attack does 10 damage and the enemy has 1,000 health, but it lasts for 100 frames, then
you have any good examples of that, like early games that?
Yeah, so Mega Man X4, I just watched a speedrun of it, and they exploited that to do the speedrun. A lot of the bosses, their hitboxes don't disable once they take damage. So there are some moves that Zero has where like he does kind of like a fire, like Shoryuken, like a uppercut slash, and it's active for like 50 frames. So for each frame it's in the boss, it does damage. So the boss's life will just like drop in like seconds because they're taking damage per frame rather than taking it. Do we want to just set up death right now? Like we can just create like a quick thing for death where it's just like, the animator that there's like a dying thing, I guess, and just go from any state, because I guess it can die from any state as well and go to exit state.
We can do that.
Yeah, right. Just to set that up so that once we put in the logic and the action, we won't have to come back here.
I'm curious as to what that looks like, though.
Sure, yeah. Go take a look. It kind of like it's kind of funny.
Just the lights turn off. That's wild.
Yeah. It just like plops, and then it's the lights turn off, and
oh my gosh, that is actually so depressing.
I'll be back in a couple seconds. Okay, guys.
Go for it. Yeah, but it just plops and then just lights off, dies.
The lights just go off. Oh my gosh, now I feel so bad for the Drake.
Too bad. Drake's gotta die.
Damn.
Drake gotta die. Look, we gotta be real.
Damn.
Hey man, who will turn out the lights?
Quan is a savage.
I destroy my enemies in games. All this talk of frames around me makes me want to play Smash. I feel
Who turned out the lights?
Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Facts for all the SpongeBob love here.
I'm a walking SpongeBob encyclopedia.
All right, I'm back. Who turned off the lights?
Yeah.
What's up? Oh.
So yeah, let's. It's so funny. It just like plops.
Thank you, Spartan, for the 5 bits.
Yo, Spartan
Thanks.
Unit is just a walking bit machine. This is great.
Yeah.
We appreciate the support so much.
Thank you so much.
Especially coming from another Alex.
Facts.
Sure.
Facts. From
Sorry,
one
I have to
Alex to the other. From
Yeah.
one Alex to the other.
Man, that's a really nice animation.
Yeah, this person went crazy.
Wait, that was a Doctor Who reference? Oh man.
Oh, but it's the exact same thing as SpongeBob, but
It is too. It is also a SpongeBob reference. Now I'm blanking. You're gonna have to tell me later.
Dying.
Okay, yeah, I think dying is fine, and there's from any state to dying, play the animation, and then boom. We want an exit time?
No.
I don't think we do. Okay, yeah.
And transition to self. Yeah, this in order to okay, there we go.
Oh, the Silence in the Library episode. I'm sorry that I didn't get that. Of course.
Silence in the wait.
That's classic.
Okay, who turned off the lights? Oh,
that's a classic.
I know what
That's
the
a
reference
classic.
is then.
That's a
I
classic.
don't know anything about Doctor Who, so I am in the dark. That's okay.
What are they called? What are they called?
Oh man, that's a classic.
The
I
Vasta,
can't believe
the
it.
Vasta Narada. Thank you.
I can't believe it.
One of my favorite episodes, and I can't
That is
do
a great. That's a classic. Season 4.
direction as it's a time.
Set up the action part of it now, and then we'll go into the code if there's any need for that.
Okay, I don't think there was really.
Don't we need an action to know if the player has been detected? Right? Isn't that what like causes the attack, or is that all code? That's all code, right?
We could do that through code.
Oh, okay, yeah, could that's better. So this still happens in handled decision, right?
Totally. Yes, it still happens
So
in
outside
handles.
of this if now we're not checking for wall detected or floor detected, we're checking for player detected. If try get state player detected, right?
I think that's what it is, right? Yeah, it is player detected.
Yeah, player detected, and then we're gonna get out. What it will give to us is if the player is detected. And then we will check inside the if player detected is true.
Yeah, let me just do
Or
this.
Yeah, not player. Yeah, got it. Yeah, makes sense.
We may want to. So the player can be detected the moment that this, like, decision thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, we may just want to like override this decision coroutine to the new one.
Okay.
Like,
okay,
because
makes sense.
this one should override, right?
I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we're going to. Yeah, we're just gonna null out the coroutine, right? Hold on. Let me see. It may still.
We do want to set the move direction to 0 though, because if the player is moving and it detects, will it stop? As of right now, no, right? It'll just keep moving. So we actually want to stop the enemy and then have it attack. So maybe we do want to run a coroutine. Like maybe it's not a timed action, but maybe some other kind of thing. Or maybe not even a coroutine, but yeah.
No, I think it's like this.
Sure. Okay, so if this is not null.
And this we could probably rename this to the move coroutine.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah.
If not null, so if player detected state is there, and player detected, so if the state is there and the value is true, and the move coroutine is not equal to no, we're just gonna stop it.
Yeah. So if it's running, then we'll stop it. Yeah. But now we have to also manually set move direction, do set state move direction as 0. because it should stop so that it can run its animation.
Yeah. Regardless, we're going to set it to 0, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because even if this like decision wasn't going on,
yeah,
it'd be 1 or -1.
Yep. Exactly.
So even if it could either be -1, 0, or 1, right? 0 if it's waiting for the coroutine to trigger or to like do the move.
Yeah, but just to be safe, we're just gonna stop it anyway, and then explicitly go and set it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the idea.
Cool. Yep. And so now we have to do set state number to create the state for attacking. I don't know if we called it that. I'm the one to set the enemy to go into attack mode or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I guess set attacking is true. We can call it just like attacking, just to be a simple name that we can't mess up, right?
Yeah.
Not move detection or move direction, just attacking.
So this actually has an optional parameter to indicate that we want to also trigger a state event.
As in like on the animation.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what this is. So because this was gonna happen a bunch where like we had all these bool variables that we were using. And it just kept giving a warning. Animator doesn't have this variable.
Got it.
This specific one is what, like, is just used to say, okay, I also want to indicate to the animator that this state is true or false.
Pacha meme, quality content. Sounds good.
Return. I don't have it for like is like a change state. So
okay.
I guess at some point, we also have to set it to false.
Yeah, we will have to. That's where the animation event that you're talking about comes in. So once the animation is done, we should fire an event from the animation, like, okay, the attack is done. Yeah. And once they receive that event, you set that to false.
Well, you're so the thing about this, right, is because its transition out is not based on a condition. Its transition out is when it completes. So when we set this to false here and then true, right? At some point, at this point, it's going to trigger the animation, right? Because the transition condition is true. However, when we set this to false immediately, it doesn't mean that it's going to break out of it because it's going to go to completion. Instead, we're just making sure that it doesn't start
do it again. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Sounds good. So initially we just set it to false, and then we let it set it up to true and complete, and then stop it again if needed. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is if player is still within the decision, like the player detected, it's just going to start it up again immediately.
Yeah, I'm okay with, again, we will have to refactor maybe if we want it to wait between attacks, but I think that's fine, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now what?
No, because there wasn't really anything that we had to do in particular then, like in terms of like creating actions, because this is kind of handling for us. We could. Yeah,
I'm all for. No. I say keep it in code. My brain can read this much more easily.
Yeah, the reason why we want to like actually create actions that set states and stuff like that, because even facing left, we're not doing it. We're doing it from here. Is just so to communicate to the components that we created that are reusable, like the walk action, the value supplier, just to make sure that they get the values.
I get you. Yeah.
Or like they did, like that's the only thing. But here we could just do whatever.
Cool. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so I guess let's try it out and see what happens.
Yeah.
Will the enemy attack when it sees the player?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Let's find out, right? I have faith that it won't.
It did.
Of course, now I look dumb. Now go stand in front of it again.
Sure.
Yes. Wait. Here we go.
I'm still in front of. I'm still in. It's
like that's good though.
Wait. Move back. Move back to the left.
Yeah, sure.
Like out of its range. Yes.
Nice.
Move forward. Yes. MCU Drake. Wait, I just said MCU. Jesus Christ.
Guy. You heard it here first. Drake is coming. This enemy is coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Drake is in the multiverse. Drake is in the multiverse now.
Multiverse of madness.
And you know what? Just to I guess confirm.
Yeah, go. Yeah, go for it. I was gonna say.
You should be able to. Hey, thank you for the 5 bits again, man. You're giving us all the bits.
Thanks.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much. And it's such a good sound. I love that Final Fantasy like fanfares. It's so fun.
The only thing that we have to do is make sure to start it up again, because like now it's not detecting wall or not floor.
Yes, I get what you mean. Yeah. Like it now just stays still. Whereas I wanted to say, okay, now that the player's out of range, start moving again.
Hey, thank you, New York NYN with the tricks. We got it. We got
more victory. Yeah. More victory.
Hold on, let me actually see that.
Drake is confirmed. Drake is confirmed for Multiverse of Madness. You've heard it here first.
Hold on.
Yeah, go for it.
I think I got damaged like twice.
Wouldn't be surprised now.
Which is not.
What's happening here is, the enemy, if it touches the player, will damage them on collision, right? But what is happening is, since the collider for the attack, like for the fire, is underneath, like kind of like inside of the enemy, when the enemy is how do I say, when the enemy attack is fired off, it's counting it as the player taking the fire damage and collision damage, but we don't actually want that to be the case. Interesting. Yeah, I forgot about that completely. Very good point. And now we Google to find help, because that's life.
All right, yeah, so this is definitely part of the game, like just development process.
Yeah, just Googling your life away, but that's okay. Okay, maybe.
Trying to follow.
Let us know.
It's getting called. This will separate it from parent. Oh,
like a rock on fire.
Oh, we have to give this thing its own rigid body.
I get you.
Impact plus fire damage.
Oh, I see. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It needs a rigid body for physics, and why? Yeah, I'm curious about that one.
No, because what happens is the rigid body is here, right?
Yep.
However, and the collider is here and in the main, right?
Sure.
So essentially, both colliders, they're on trigger events, propagate up to the parent trigger body, or sorry, the parent rigid body.
Rigid body. So it needs its own, so it doesn't propagate.
Exactly. If it has its own, then it sort of deals with its own on trigger.
All right, let's try it out. Yeah.
So I'm making it static. So maybe, hopefully, it does its thing properly.
Yep. And then after that, if this works, we can then
So yeah. Let me,
is it working?
I had to look to.
No, we have to check for the player and see
the actual health. Yeah.
Yeah. Debug.
This debug mode is cool, but at the same time, it can be a little
verbose.
Yeah, exactly. See, there you go. One.
There we go. Yeah, we took 1 damage. Okay.
So
now
that's something we have to keep in mind.
Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely keep that in mind. That rigid bodies need to be on the children as well, so that they don't propagate upward.
Not necessarily the children, just the points that we want the colliders to happen.
Okay, fair enough.
Sakurai making Bowser's fire breath.
Facts. Alex, let's now try and get the enemy to move again. If it does not detect
I don't think that's going to be
the thing, right?
Hold on. I think this might be solved if we add go to Drake, and then we go to Drake attack.
Yeah.
And then we add an event for is attacking. And right here. Sorry?
No. Go ahead.
And then here we add an animation event. Set false state is attacking. So we know when it's in the animation.
Okay, sure.
Which is going to be important, because this is just going to trigger the animation. Is attacking is going to be like if we're in the animation. So if we're in the animation, we definitely want to stick to 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, if not player detected, and if this buddy. For one, if move full routine.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Move coroutine not equal to null.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Following so far.
not player detected. Right, that makes sense. Right, get state. Is attacking. Out. Is attacking.
Okay, so we check if. So basically, are you currently moving? And if not, check also if you're attacking. And now, what are you gonna do here? Yeah, go ahead. You know what we could do as well?
No, yeah, we could just immediately. We might want to call this coroutine again.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, we may want to call that. But how do we? Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, that is.
Oh no, sorry. We want to do this if it's equal to null.
Yeah, sure.
So move coroutine is well. I don't know. Right after attacking, do we want to immediately move, or do we want there to still be a delay right after attacking?
I'm okay with either one. I think that a delay is fine. Like it attacks, doesn't see the player for a quarter second, and then keeps going.
So if move coroutine is equal to null and is attacking, or is
and you're attacking.
It's not attacking?
Oh, you're not attacking right now. You start moving again. So.
Well, this is gonna happen if you're in general, right? So we want to also just check if we're not moving.
So effectively, what we can even do then more so is, if player is not detected and move the way you were gonna do it, and move direction is 0, then start moving.
But we have to just make sure that it's not in the animation either.
I get you.
That's
okay.
what this is, yeah. Because
get you.
That could, like, the moment you move out, like you move out of the way,
it'll start moving left or right.
Exactly.
Even while still in the fire breath, right?
Right, as you're doing the fire breath, which we don't want. So definitely, we need to have this condition. We need to see if we're already not like about to move.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think this is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we can probably clean that up at some point, but
yeah, because of the reuse of code, but
yeah,
I'm sure we can figure that out.
And then we got to figure that out too, but
yeah.
But hold on, it's gonna look at me.
Cool. Yep. Okay.
It's still doing that weird thing.
I mean, the detection and the attacking is working, so that's cool.
It's definitely doing that.
Let's see. Can I see it again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No, come back. Hold on. Let's see. Oh. Where's Drake? Let's see that. I mean, facing it's like it's setting the facing.
Yeah, but it's like
part of it.
But it's still like getting stuck.
That's what it seems like.
All right, guys. So just for context, what Spartan Unit was saying was like, so Skyrim has main ESP files followed by DLC ESP files. When you mod the game, if multiple mods change the same aspects of the game, you have to put the mod lower on the mod load order so that it supersedes changes made by mods higher in the load order. So we haven't thought about like modding at all or the load order whatsoever. So maybe just way later down the line.
Yeah, right now there are no mods, nothing like that in mind for the game.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But
I wonder,
thinking outside of the box is cool. Yeah.
Why is it not moving?
No, I think I know the reason why it's not moving. I think it's because when it does the flip, it's essentially like in that moment that it does the flip, the collider might be false. Like it might be You know when you go and you detect the ledge?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
In that moment, like that it flips, you don't detect it, which then causes the thing to start again to do another coroutine.
I get you. It could definitely be that. It feels like it could also be something else like that we're missing here. And so we're sure that is attacking is getting set correctly. Let's check that out again just to be sure.
Sure.
Yeah, on the Drake scene animation or whatever. Or I guess in the debug, sorry.
Is attacking? I have to move to it.
Is attacking is not there. There we go, probably. We have attacking, not is attacking.
By the way, the player should have like no health now, right?
Yeah, we haven't added anything for
death, right?
Death or
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay,
no problem. Let me see. Quick attack. Here's an animation event. Go back to
Are you sure you weren't trying to say attacking and not is attacking? Because the animation event is called attacking.
We got like 2 more comments in chat. Hold on.
Sure.
Spartan Unit was at. I was asking more in regards to the order of actions you're programming into the game, possibly acting similar.
Oh yeah, that's right. And that like we want certain actions to supersede and have precedence over the other ones. Yes, you're totally right there in terms of the attack and the move. Yeah, that is the right idea for what you're thinking about.
That is the right idea. Yes, and then. And my end with the tricks, Nick said, is there a code for the enemy to repeat the same action / path that it moves? So instead of getting stuck, it'll just run its route in a loop.
That's actually effectively what we're trying to get.
Yeah.
We're trying to get that kind of loop action stuff to happen, but we need to write that logic. Like this is the route we're kind of trying to set. The route being move left and right kind of mindlessly. If you see an enemy, attack. If the enemy is gone, move right and left mindlessly. So that'll be like it's a loop of actions. So that's what we're trying to get to right now. Alex, yeah, what I was saying was the animation event that you named is called is attacking, right?
Yeah, well, I had to differentiate between attacking and is attacking because
so then where does this get used? Yep, go ahead.
No, it is being used in an appropriate place. I mean, I could also just.
He says, yeah, "How would you go about writing it out in code in like very simple layman's terms?"
So, what we're doing here, which is simply like start by moving left, right? If you detect a wall or a ledge, wait for 1 second, and now the code will say, okay, now flip the Drake, so that now it's facing right. Set its movement, like movement speed or the direction it's moving to the opposite. So it's moving in the opposite direction, which is why we use this thing called like facing left is equal to the exclamation mark and then facing left. What that exclamation point means is not or opposite. So if it's facing left, now you hit a wall, do the opposite of facing left, which is facing right. Change your move direction to the opposite. So instead of moving left, you're moving right. And the same thing. As for attacking, we have an invisible box in front of the enemy where if it sees anything that matches a tag called player hitbox, which is on the player, it will say, okay, stop moving and trigger my attack. And now we're trying to get happen is, okay, if I no longer detect a player within my range, I should start doing the same thing. Move left. If I hit a wall, move right. And then that would just happen in a loop forever until the enemy is either dead or I guess that's it.
Pretty much.
Soon we will be programming enemies from a Metroid. Oh no, I definitely.
Okay, so what we're doing right now is something very, very basic, and we've referenced the Emmys on a former stream, and we had a conversation about this. How I don't think we're gonna have like a complex like AI as an Emmy, but we might. We might not go that hard. We might not have something like we might not have something like an Emmy or who do we reference? Was it Mr. X from
Yeah.
Resident Evil. Like basically enemies that can actually like scare the shit out of you and follow you around and like actually chase you. Like they have like more complex AI algorithms. Like this is like very basic AI that we're talking about.
Thanks, Spartan Unit. It starts with us though. Yeah, you're right. Like we will get there eventually. But yeah, right now we're dealing with a rudimentary enemy that just mindless, so maybe we'll get to an enemy that is.
To be honest,
more,
you don't. To be honest,
smarter.
you don't need that level of AI in these types of games. You need basic AI like this.
Yeah, the most complex AI will be on like bosses and stuff.
Like you don't need AI that's like, am I a human? You don't need that in this type of game.
No, that's way too much.
And even the Emmys, I'm pretty sure, they don't need to think too hard. They just need to be like, okay, the player is over there. I'm just gonna chase them. So I kind of went a little too hard there. So yeah,
you know what? It kind of is like moving a bit.
I think it's like off the ledge. Like the detection got weird.
Yeah, I think it's really like the moment that it switches. It's what's causing this. Like especially since we're detecting floor, the moment it switches, there's that moment of like not detecting floor.
Sure.
Which is causing this issue. Yeah.
It's 8, so I say let's come back to this. We'll figure it out in between streams. Well, we got a good amount done though. We got the enemy to move back and forth in a bit of a jank. Again, we're moving it from the action-based system back into code, so we have some changes to make, some things to do, but we also got it to attack when it notices the player, so that's good. And again, we will tweak these things between this stream, and next week we can work on the enemy death and animation, so that when the enemy takes damage, they will like flop and their lights will turn off, and we'll do the same thing for the player. So when the player gets hit by fire, they have an animation where they will like flinch kind of because they took damage, and then if the player loses all of their health, we have an animation where the player will like fall on the ground, die, and then that will be trigger a respawn or something, or whatever we figure out. But that's what we'll be doing next week. Join us next Wednesday for more gaming, more Bloodstained, more fun with RPG and Metroidvania elements as we see how that goes.
What's that?
Pokemon Level Up. Nice. Oh yeah.
I don't know the names, but
thanks. Level Up. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
And then what else?
Speaking of Pokemon, if you're looking forward to the new Pokemon games coming out tomorrow. It's like it's like Pokemon Breath of the Wild.
Arceus, right?
Arceus?
I thought it was Arceus.
I don't play Pokemon at all, dude.
If you look at the name, it looks like Arceus, but it's actually Arceus.
Arceus. Yeah, but yes, if you're excited for that, cool. Join us next Wednesday for more gaming, and next Thursday for more game development.
Yes.
With that, we will see you next week. Have a good weekend, y'all. BK Game Devs signing out.
Yeah, thank you, Alex, for all the biddies. All the support.
All the biddies. So Peace out, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace out.
With the BK Game Devs.